All right, so it's time for
Court today.
yeah, Murtala Inusah is here.
Captain is here.
Yes, I'm here again to meet the due. Yesterday we enjoyed the appointment committee's actions and all that. So,
You're
yes.
out of order.
I know, right?
I think
He's not out of order.
I'm not out of order. So on what basis? I've only mentioned
Don't be
appointment
out of
committee.
order.
I will not be out
Be
of
calming
order.
down.
We're just monitoring the nominees, and each of them.
Nominee.
You know, when you find yourself there, in a moment that sometimes people dig you up. Okay, they dig you. So yesterday, for instance, I was listening to the Deputy Attorney General and Justice Minister nominee, Doctor.
The Attorney
Deputy,
General.
Attorney General and
himself.
Justice Minister nominee. Not deputy.
Did I say deputy?
You said
Yes.
deputy.
Oh, sorry.
His former deputy.
Yes.
8 years ago.
Yes. So he was making the point. There was a point that his firm was used to advise a company and all that. So a question was put to him. I said, oh, yes, it was my company. But at the time that the company was used, the name of the company, the chamber was being used to advise that company against the state. At that time, I had no role to play. Very interesting moment. Yeah. So those moments when you find yourself, the lantern, where you were born, we'll get to know. Lily, where you grew up, we'll get to know all those things. So very interesting.
Oh, Lily's the incoming minister for
gender. Is it gender?
No,
oh,
it's
youth.
not gender,
Yes.
Lantern,
In fact,
don't set me up. Ghana for no.
Youth and is it empowerment or what?
Lantern,
Youth.
it's okay.
So yesterday I met somebody in town. I said, okay, now Mama is giving an appointment, right? So everybody should position herself.
Really?
Maybe appointment, they can ask you to bring your CV right now. So you never know.
Oh, I've personally taken her CV.
Lord.
I'm taking it.
My Lord, you're out of order.
I'm in order. Captain.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's coming
talk
up?
about
Yes,
the
so
nominees
a
and
lot
what
has
you
been
observed.
happening. Yes, the appointment committee, of course, the vetting has started. And for us in court today, our focus is on the Attorney General nominee, Dr. Ayine. And yesterday, he's been asked a lot, or he was asked a lot of questions. And one of them that we want to touch on is in relation to public tribunal. And there are a lot of people who have made issues about this. Remember the Judgment Debt Commission, you know, the kind of work that they did. First, compensation paid to people who were owned judgment debt that the state, all those who were brought before the commission. It was open. Live cameras were there, witnesses come, lawyers come, who played roles come in, testify. And then it opened eye on a lot of things, how some of the rot even come about, how the states renege on certain fulfillment, and then as a result, the state had to pay huge compensation, judgment debt, and all that. He thinks that re-establishment of some of these public tribunals will help. And I think that he's been very vocal on that particular point. Let's hear Dr. Ayine in respect of that particular matter. So bring you that a bit. But of course, yesterday we've been talking to you about the one case that also came up in court. It's in relation to the Cocoa Board. Cocoa Board matter. Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opuni, Seydou Agongo, and of course, Agricourt Ghana Limited. They are in court. And yesterday I was telling you about the fact that they are appearing in court for the first time under this NDC administration. New king, new law. But of course, the trial yesterday continued. The ninth defense witness for Seydou Agongo. Already, state prosecutors called 7 witnesses. They are done with their case. Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opuni called 10 witnesses. He's done with his defense. Then Seydou Agongo is the second and third, and Agricourt, second and third are calling witnesses. And yesterday, one Dr. Samuel Akuto Banfo. That name sounds familiar, right? Akuto Banfo. Yes. He's a scientist at nuclear energy. And he came to court to testify. And guess what he has been saying? There were 2 reports or results that were given to him by the accused persons to also examine the kind of terminologies that were used to arrive at the conclusion that liquid fertilizer was bad. And he has been giving some interesting discoveries to the court. The 2 results that he analyzed, one that was authored by one Cote Papafio, which was being relied on by prosecution to say that the sample that they tested was worthless. Farmers could even drink it as water. He said that, look, the terminology that was used to test that particular sample was it was unacceptable. It has no scientific basis. And so when you use that terminology to say that, to come to that conclusion, it won't hold. So that resource or that report that was generated to say that the fertilizer has no potency, it was unacceptable, and the conclusion itself was contradictory because of how they went about. So that cannot be relied on as a concrete tool to prosecute the accused person. However, there was another sample report that he analyzed, which has to do with a report coming from the material science lab. And he said that, look, that particular report considered all the elements, and that actually proved reliable. And that was the document being relied on by the defense to make their case. So he is saying that the report the prosecution is relying on to prosecute Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opunni and Seidu Agongo and Agricourt are unacceptable, are not reliable. But that the prosecution, the defense is using by way of the material science lab reports, that one is the acceptable one. So yesterday, before Justice Abuaje Tando, Justice of the Court of Appeal, who was sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, adjourned the matter to 31st of January, and 21st of January, and 21st, lawyers of Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opunni would subject him to cross-examination, and Samuel Kojo is the lawyer for Dr. Opunni. And after that, prosecution would subject him to cross-examination. So yesterday, that case came on, and then the 9th defense witness for Seidu Agongo is in court to testify. And he's concluded his evidence in chief, and the conclusion was that prosecution's test results, which they are using as the tool or the basis to prosecute the accused persons, have no scientific grounds. So that's one.
James Quayson in court yesterday?
James Quayson, member of parliament for Asennov, right? He was in court yesterday with his lawyers, led by lawyer Chachu Chikata.
The
venerable Chachu Chikata. The man, when you also see him with the gray hair, or this one is white. Yeah. Yeah, Chachu was in court before Justice Mary Mami Ekwe-Yenzo. And guess what? The investigator who investigated this whole matter in relation to James Quayson's incident, which led to all of this. In fact, his outcomes, his findings led to the state charging James Quayson for, in fact, 5 criminal charges, including perjury and a forgery of document, which he pleaded not guilty. Yesterday, Mr. Chachu Chikata concluded his cross-examination of the investigator, and the matter has been adjourned to the 3rd of February. And on the 3rd of February, what will happen is that prosecution will not have the time to inform the court whether they have some more witnesses to call or they will end their case here, for which reason the court will then have to determine whether there's a prima facie evidence, for which reason James Quayson and his lawyers or the accused person should be called upon to open his defense. So that is the stage in which we are. So yesterday, that case came on. Mr. Chikata concluded the cross-examination of the investigator, who is the 4th prosecution witness in that particular matter, with which James Quayson is standing trial.
And then the disputed seats case.
So a lot of people have asked me what have happened to that case.
What's happening? What's happening with
yesterday,
that case? People are interested in knowing.
So one thing that was missing is the atmosphere, the euphoria, the numbers that we used to know. That when this case is coming out, even before the swearing, there were a lot of people come to the court, as you can see on your screen. Yesterday, it was Fala. You come to the courtroom. it was empty. Very empty.
People have lost interest in
the media guys who were in court are more than the number of people who were in court. So yesterday, lawyers of the NDC, the key actors that we do know were not up. Gideon Abuchi represented the NDC, which are the applicants in the matter. And of course, Justin Amenuvo, the lawyer for the Electoral Commission, was present in court, but conspicuously missing is the lawyer for the MPP side, Gary Nimaku. And the indication from the judge is that there is evidence of non-service. They have not been able to serve, they haven't served them with the applications as far. So the court hands are tied. And the NDC themselves asked that the case be adjourned indefinitely. So yesterday, that case came on, the stay of execution, but of course, the matter has been adjourned sine die. I got to the court, that's the language that which effectively means that indefinitely. Yeah, we don't know. There's no date, there's no time. Until such time that we'll have it listed again. For now, that case.
Interesting.
Yes.
Millennium City murder trial?
Yes. Ababio, Ben Lord Ababio, the man, they say he's a self-styled chief somewhere, Kasua, Millennium City. We know in April last year what happened. He is alleged to have shot a soldier who over a land issue, and then the man died. Now he's facing charges. He, together with one other, are facing 2-count conspiracy and murder. He is facing murder. Yesterday, the court presided over by Justice Nakizita Kowa was expected to supervise the empanelment of jury or jury selection. And in relation to jury selection, it is the accused person who selects who should try them. It is not the court that decide for them. They will bring a lot of people to the court, potential jurors to the court, and then their names are put in the box. They lift it. So if they mention Lantan Papanku, you just step up. If the accused person look at you and say, no, you are neatly dressed. People who are neatly dressed, they are difficult people to deal with. They say, no, I don't want Lantan. Go. Lily, you step forward, they look at you and say, Lily is a beautiful lady. She have I have a crush for Lily. So Lily can
So you can go.
Until he gets the 7 people, then that ends the process. But of course, in the process of selecting the jury or the jurors, I might say, you have the opportunity to reject 3 without assigning any explanation. But the fourth one, the fourth one, you have to provide explanation. Maybe the person is my next door neighbor. He fought with me the last time, so I don't think that when he sit on my case, and then that one the court will reason. But if you don't have any
justice, the person is my landlord. I'm owing him rent.
And then this person will deal with me, and then that one the court will agree. But if the person says, oh, he's too tall or she's too beautiful, and I don't think that. I remember sometime when Sexy Dondon was making his jury, selecting his jurors. He said she didn't like
Gucci youngster.
But that is the case of the case of the prosecution. Now the case is civil. The case of the prosecution is that he's called Sexy Dondon.
Exactly.
And he is saying that Gucci youngster. So now we have 2 names to work with. Sexy Dondon / Gucci youngster. There were moments that when he selects a woman, he will reject them. Then the last one, when they ask him of the explanation, he said the case is too emotional. And so he doesn't think that women can, they can't hold that emotion. So he's just rejecting them. Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
And did they allow
but
him
eventually,
to
one of the reasons the court just think that no,
it
doesn't make any sense. So they allowed the lady to sit on the panel. So that's one of the things, or some of the things that happen when it comes to jury selection. So that case, there weren't enough prospective jurors in court, so it has to be adjourned. And so it was
coming up today, Mike Nuniku. Yesterday he was in court, right?
Yes, yesterday he was in court.
Coming back to court today.
The case that started with 61 witnesses, it dropped to 49, and it looked like it is dropping again. So yesterday we had a 25th witness.
Wow.
Yes.
But that's still quite a significant number.
Exactly.
In fact, all the
25 witnesses.
In fact, I have not seen any case that I have covered in court that I have seen that number of witnesses. But the indication is that there are 16 more to come. Yeah, 16 more. 25 down, 16 more. So when you add 16 to 25 will be what? So that's 30, like 40, that's 41.
Oh, 41.
Yeah, 41. Sorry. So from 61, it looked like it will be down to 41. So yesterday, before Justice Efiasewa Saributri, a justice of the Court of Appeal who's sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, heard the witness, and he said that today, the lawyer of the accused person indicated that with an hour or more, they will be able to conclude on their evidence in chief. Then prosecution will take over cross-examination, which Hilda Craig, who is the senior principal state attorney, I must say, indicated that it won't take them more than an hour to subject the witness to cross-examination. And they made the indication that tomorrow the case will come on again, and they will be calling 3 witnesses at a go. So it looks like I'm making some progress here. So this is some of the cases this is one of the cases that we should keep an eye on in relation to this. So these are some of the things that we should be looking out for on court today.
All right. Thank you very much.
Captain.
Thank you to the deal. Enjoy your
Murtala
day.
Inusah.
Yes. Lantam Papanku. Manchester United favorites.
Yes.
I saw yesterday. I didn't
At
talk
this
about
point, you're out of order. Thank you.
Am I out of order, Atlanta?
You're out of order.
Yes.
I take it.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Calm
That's
down.
Murtala and Inusah we've got today.